Well, good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Positive Living Center. I'm John LaLonde. I'm your host today. So the errant ministers are finding their seats.
We're stalling for the people who are coming in.
Oh, good. There are more people. Great. There are people coming in.
Not even late yet.
Well, good morning, everyone. Good morning to people on Zoom. How many are on Zoom right now?
We've got just 3.
3? Okay. Great. Well, welcome to everybody here for the last Sunday in July 2025, the year of remembering, and the last week that we will hear about the theme for the month, and that being freedom. So, are there any newcomers here, people who have not been here before? I see someone pointing. Oh, there we go. Would you stand and introduce yourself? Let us know your name.
Hi, I'm Philip. This is my brother Alan.
Oh, hi.
We know him.
Yeah. Sort of.
Yeah. Well, welcome, Philip. And we have another, not newcomer, but old-timer newcomer coming in.
Hello, everyone.
Hello, Shayla. Perfect timing. Shayla, would you introduce yourself?
Yes, of course. I will reintroduce myself. I am Shayla Filmaridis, and I'm part of the PLC, long timer, Reverend, and happy to be back. Happy to see you all.
Yeah, well, welcome, Shayla. All right, as we do every week, we're going to begin with meditation. Warren will play us into it, and as we descend, then we'll go quiet for a while, and I'll bring us back, and we'll get other things going.
Looks like it's stuck. Yeah, right now. Oh, yeah, John LaLonde.
As we begin to return our attention to the room, let's reflect on the freedom we've already experienced today. One of those things was the decision to come here today. What is it? Why are we here? What are we here to see, to think about, to reflect on? Why are we here? Thank you, Warren. That was lovely. I inadequately introduced our musician. Warren Cox is here playing guitar. We next have a spiritual thought by Sandee Scott, a practitioner here.
I can see my paper with these glasses, but I can't see you. Good morning. Let me tell you about Viktor Frankl. I'm sure some of you have heard the name or know the story. Viktor was born in Vienna, Austria in 1905. An educated man, a doctor, a psychiatrist, a Jew. In 1942, he was arrested with his wife, father, mother, and brother, and taken to a concentration camp in German-occupied Czechoslovakia. His father died of starvation shortly after. 2 years later, he and his wife were transported to Auschwitz. His mother followed a week later and did not survive the week. His wife was moved to a different camp.
That's all the way.
1945, the war ends. Frankl's camp is liberated and he returns to Vienna, where he learns of the deaths that he didn't already know about of all of his loved ones. When he first arrived at the camp, he carried with him a manuscript representing his life's work and pleaded to be able to keep it, but everything was taken from him. For all the imprisoned, whatever possessions they carried in their suitcases, watches, jewelry, clothing, the clothing on their backs, even the hair on their bodies, everything was taken. Death loomed over him and his fellow prisoners daily. The smoke from the crematorium was perhaps 100 yards away. Somehow he managed to secretly keep records of his observations in the camps on scraps of paper, and after the war he published his book on something called logotherapy. The book was later called Man's Search for Meaning. Right here. What is logotherapy, you ask? It's both a life philosophy and a psychological treatment modality. As a philosophy, it focuses on the meaning of human existence and on man's search for such meaning. As a therapy, it focuses on finding healing through finding meaning. His premise? Humans are drawn to find something or someone worthwhile to live and work for. That's our primary motivation. He said, life is not primarily a quest for pleasure or a quest for power, but a quest for meaning. The greatest task for any person is to find meaning in his or her life. Dr. Frankl's experiences and his observations in the camps expanded his logotherapy philosophy that he had begun before he was ever put in that concentration camp. At the heart of the philosophy, life has ultimate meaning. Life has meaning under all circumstances. Meaning can be found in every situation. Meaning is discovered through a connectedness with something beyond and greater than oneself. Can you picture yourself in a concentration camp? Given these circumstances, wouldn't everyone either act only out of the desire to survive, no matter what it took, or just totally give up? Suicide in the camps was common. Frankl wondered, does man have no choice of action in the face of such circumstances? His conclusion, the experiences of camp life show that man does have a choice of action. There were enough examples, often of a heroic nature, which proved it. Man can preserve a vestige of spiritual freedom, of independence of mind, even in such terrible conditions of psychic and physical stress. He said, we who lived in concentration camps can remember the men who walked through the hut comforting others, giving away their last piece of bread. They may have been few in number, but they offer sufficient proof that everything can be taken from a man but one thing, the last of the human freedoms, to choose one's attitude in any given set of circumstances, to choose one's own way. I'd like to interject here that I think there's possibly one exception. If the body is in excruciating, intractable, unbearable pain, something I experienced 5 days ago thanks to a kidney stone, there does not seem to be the ability to choose an attitude. When the pain level was at a 5, we're talking about the pain scale of 0 to 10, when it was at a 5 instead of a 9+, I was able to do a spiritual mind treatment. But at the 8, 9, and 10 level, I'm not sure it's possible. If somebody has other information, please let me know. Back to spiritual freedom, which cannot be taken away. It is the key to making life meaningful and purposeful. If you're willing, repeat after me. My life has meaning under all circumstances. My life has meaning under all circumstances. I have spiritual freedom. I have spiritual freedom. I choose my attitude in any given set of circumstances. I choose my attitude in any given set of circumstances. And lastly, I am grateful for my spiritual freedom. I am grateful for my spiritual freedom. And so it is.
Thank you, Sandee. Scott. Search for meaning, all of us, all circumstances. Wonderful. Well, Warren, another song before we have our next speaker. Thank you.
great song for that time.
Yeah, perfectly melding everything we've heard so far together. Nice. Next up, we have Reverend Judy DeRosa for our minister talk.
Imagine. I'd like to thank all of the people that gave us their wisdom regarding the word freedom. We are in a scenario on this planet where freedom looks very different to a lot of people. And I had to assess all the variations of what freedom is for everyone. And after hearing Jackie speak, I really felt that freedom is missing for a lot of people all across the world. And so we have to come to our spiritual awareness. And I truly love John LaLonde's definitions in the beginning of the month. It brought this deeper awareness that our words have such variation involved and the connotation that how it affects each and every one of us. My friend John Stanley, he does a lot of work here in a very kind, generous way. And we were talking about the word namaste. And with that word, namaste, there's an element of a deeper understanding. So when I say the word namaste, I'm speaking to your spiritual self. I'm speaking to the self that doesn't have a prejudice or resentment, that doesn't have that attachment to the past. I'm teaching this energetic to myself of seeing the beauty of who you are in your soul, in your spirit, in your personal evolution, and that we join together and honor a higher level of consciousness that is always there for us, always there. We were also discussing visualizing. I have a friend who was a Olympic equestrian jumper with her horses. She would go to the racetrack and rescue some of the horses that had been crippled from racing, and she would bring them back to their healthy, sturdy self. And then she would imagine riding them in unity. And she would wake up in the morning and not get out of bed, but she would see herself in harmony with her animal. She would see herself run the course of this Olympic experience, not just for herself, but for the well-being of this animal that had been on the racetrack and was only run until it ran out of energy and didn't make them money. She ran these horses with love and fed them well and had a respect for the element of the soul of the animal. And so she could see the spirit of the individual as she would go to the track and meet these animals. And she'd bring them into a place of being champions. Champions, not just to win, but to do what they came here to do, which is to be beautiful, to be ridden, to be seen, to be appreciated. And they willingly worked with her because she loved them so much. And so when we see each other and we think of the word namaste, we think of the word of seeing each other in their highest, greatest, most beautiful state of being. That is that high level of awareness. That is the grace of choosing another consciousness. There are so many types of freedom. In the Native American consciousness, we think everything is free. Everything. And when we choose to interact with the land, with the trees, with the animals, with the four-leggeds, the flyers, the swimmers, the ones that crawl, our relationship becomes stronger with each other. We're not better. We're not a master. We are a steward. We are a caregiver. We are respectful. We are in a place of understanding that in the circle of life, we do not stand in the middle. We stand on the edge with every creation that God has put on this planet. Every form of life is equal and beautiful. Its intelligence may be different than ours. It may know more than we do. It is our job to be respectful, to understand that their freedom is just as important as ours. I'd like to tell you a story about a lady, really a family. Her name is Lupia, and she and her husband had met in school becoming electrical engineers. And they loved their work. They had really good jobs. But he wanted more. And so he said to her, honey, let's move to the United States. Mexico has a lot to offer, but not what I want. And she thought for a really long, hard time, saying, I love it here. I don't want to leave my home. But she agreed. So they moved to the United States. They went through the entire process of immigration. They jumped through all the hoops. They did all the paperwork. Everything was legal. Everything was done in a manner so that they could be citizens of the U.S. So they could raise their children and have a different kind of education. And this was really important to her, but she didn't speak English. And so she gave up her occupation as being an electrical engineer. And her husband got this great job. And they both worked really hard. She started bringing kids in to take care of. For daycare, she had 2 little ones. Why not more? And everyone loved what she did. Loving, caring, rich woman with a family that was thriving and joyful. Then the pandemic hit, and his job ended, and she could no longer do any kind of childcare in her home. And they had set aside some money just in case, because that's what people do. And he said to her, "You have done so much, and you have helped me so much. And I want to know what you want to do now. You have time, you could probably take some classes on Zoom." And she sat and thought about this for a long time. And no one really knew when the pandemic was going to be over. And so she thought, this is going to sound strange, but I want to do what my grandfather did. And he goes, "Your grandfather was a farmer." She says, "I want to study agriculture. I want to have my hands in the ground. I want to see things grow." And he said, "Well, sure, do that." And so during the pandemic, she studied ag. She studied really hard. And she saved more money, put aside just a little bit, because she wanted a tractor. I mean, what woman doesn't want to run tractor, right? Now, when the pandemic started to ease off a little bit and he could go back to work, all of her friends thought, she's going to open up her daycare center. She's going to go back and work with the kids. And she told her friends, "No, that's not what I'm going to do. I'm going to buy myself my tractor and rent some land, and I'm going to do what I studied to do." And they're all rolling their eyes and going, "Oh, Dia, no, you can't do that. My kids love you." And she said, "I love them too. But I love myself and my soul, my spirit, that essence of who I am is ready to do what I love." And she rented, leased a few acres of land. She got her tractor, and she started selling her wares, her marigolds, her fresh vegetables and fruit at the farmer's market. People had a hard time accepting what her goals were, her desire to have that life that has meaning, that was rich, like the soil she tilled. She became very successful in the Salinas area. And as her reputation grew, the respect for what she chose to do in her life made her happy, made her children respect her, instead of, "Oh, mamacita, I'm so embarrassed, you want to be a farmer?" And yet as she brought these crops and flowers home, and they shared them with the people that didn't have enough, she became rich on so many levels. She was respected in her community by the other farmers who saw her renting more and more land. She became a a sense of a little envy, and yet that respect was shared by everyone she met. Her customers loved her. We'll come back to freedom. We don't know what she's doing right now. We do know that there are elements who are taking people away from what they love, who are incredibly disrespectful, even as a citizen. She is having to fight for what's right for her. And I think we should applaud her for what she's doing, for what she's having to stand up for in her rights. Lucia is a strong woman with a strong husband who respects her. And so I'm going to ask you, what do you want to do? Are you doing that right now? If you're not, remember that you can. In any way, shape, or form, whatever you put your focus on, you can do. In New Thought, we are not trapped by other people. We are only trapped by ourselves. When we choose to release ourselves from these old false beliefs and allow ourselves to grow and thrive, to be more than what we've ever told ourselves that we could be, then we become a part of the work of the Creator, the essence, the love, the initial awakening that we go through. When we say to ourselves, oh, I didn't think I could do that, think again. Give yourself permission. Dig deeper into your dreams of your childhood and understand there's no one keeping you from being your very best. As Creator, Great Spirit, all that is, God, Goddess, whatever you choose to believe, allow your service to Source to come to fruition right here and right now.
Thank you, Reverend Judy. Wonderful. Yes, dig. What is our essence? What is the essence that our spirit wishes to express? We have the freedom to do that. Thank you for those reminders. Mm-hmm. All right. Well, can I ask two people to come up and help with our offertory, which we'll move into. Here it comes. All right. Let's repeat the offertory prayer. Divine love flowing through me, blesses and increases all that I give and all that I receive.
Good morning.
So just in way of reminder, we have in the back left corner a box that looks like a frog. It's referred to as the frog box. And in near it, there are little slips of paper and a pencil. If you have a prayer request for yourself or anyone else, you can write it on that on that paper. And Reverend Joe Bull collects those papers, and along with any other requests. Thank you, everyone, for your offertory donations there. So the prayer requests can be requested of any minister or practitioner. Sandee Scott will be in the meditation room afterwards, and anyone who wishes to have an in-person prayer with Sandee is welcome to go there. And you can also just make your request of Joe Bull, and he puts out a request for prayer to all of the ministers and practitioners here, and it's a very dynamic and powerful group of people who will pray for your wished for or intended prayer. So you're invited to do that. Those on Zoom, you can donate through the connection button that you used today. There's a donate button on that, and you can press that and donate digitally if you wish. So let's move into announcements. Are there any people with announcements today? Yes, Dale.
That song that Warren was playing, Imagine, without the freedom, why imagine? You got to have the freedom to put to work your imagination. I started out real young. My late wife and I had 6 children by the time we was 30. People would hit us up with, hey, don't you know the world's too overcrowded already? Don't you know? Quit having them. Today, our last one, hour and a half ago, celebration, another one in our family. And people look at things different today. I used to dread getting old because I thought, well, they just cast me out. The doctor don't care anything about keep me alive and so on. 2 more months, I'll be 89, and the doctor's fighting for me as though if I'm 20. I can dream of being 100. I can imagine being 100. I'm thankful for our freedom. I'm thankful for the difference in attitude in people.
Yes.
And the belief. So,
Yes.
thank you.
All right, thank you, Dale.
Thank you.
Congratulations to you, Becky, for another one in your family, and for being 89.
Yes. Whatever that birthday is.
All right, let's repeat the. Oh, I'm sorry. Yes.
That's okay. I got it.
Yeah.
Just a quick announcement that we do have our class afterwards. 11:30. It'll be here in the sanctuary because the library is a little messy. The library project is coming along. If you feel like you've missed out, you haven't. It's still going. So Friday between 10 and 12, we will be working on the library as well. So you're welcome to join us if you're able to make it. And back to the class. Again, 11:30 here. It's on the 5th agreement. And if you're part of the group that's already done the 4 agreements, you're welcome to attend. And if you haven't at all and you just like to sit in, you're welcome to attend. So it is $30. It is 2 weeks in a row. So we want to make sure you can make both weeks. Hope to see you.
All right, thank you. Any other announcements? All right, Reverend LaLonde Bull, who just made her announcement, will be our speaker next week. So you'll not want to miss that as our first week of the new theme. So let's repeat the prayer of protection. If you don't know, the card is in front of you that has that on it. But let's begin. The light of God surrounds me. The love of God enfolds me. The power of God protects me. The presence of God watches over me. The energy of God is me. Wherever I am, God is, and all is well. All right, Warren, another closing song here. is. Well, Reverend Joe, I see you lubricating your vocal cords. Would you say our final prayer here?
Yes, I was lubricating my voice. Oh, God. What a fabulous service. Great messages from our speakers and our fabulous musician today. We're so blessed to have each other and to know that we do have our freedom to do what it is that we are wanting to do and to do it. We are so blessed to have each other and the Positive Living Center. Let's go out and be good stewards to ourselves and to others, as I know you do. God loves us all. We love ourselves. Have a great week, and so it is.
Thank you, everyone, for coming.
So last week, I cooked a Salisbury steak.
It's Angela.
Hi, Angie. We love you. What's the thing for August?
It's another gripping episode. Yeah. Check out the iFocus. It's another gripping episode. I actually know what it is. Should I give it up?
I'm trying to think if I remember. No,
It's radiant.
Before, why,